I mean, I can understand how white people are racist against black and black against white. It's a different cultural kind of feel to it, but that's okay. What's so good is that it makes our world so much more beautiful, especially in the arts. I think where I discern the most problem is the hood, or the housing projects that house the segregated families. You know, the grandparents didn't learn to read. And yeah, they're angry because they don't have opportunities. I mean, I would go in the city and see hundreds of children not learning how to swim. That would be concerning because it's safety. Plus, it's just an activity that's important. But back in segregation, the grandparents were not allowed at the pools. So, you know, between not going to college and some of them dropping out to go to work, even as early as 3rd grade, not that they don't have heart or wisdom, but they didn't have the tools to get into a profession that made more money in a lot of cases. Some of them did, but we're talking thousands. So I guess now I'll follow what Glenn Johnson told me, and she's a grandmother that lost her husband. She lived through segregation. She was having knee replacement surgery, and she's having trouble with her teeth. And she had cockroaches, but she didn't want to complain because she was afraid she'd get evicted. But she said, Miss Ellie, we don't need so much, but we need activities for our children. So I think that's the main thing is, you know, being rich is great, but if you don't have certain skills or activities, like I know a lot of wealthy people go snow skiing. They love it. They have a good time. Then like Arthur Ashe, there's tennis for some people, rowing. So to me, it's like you have to put things in place for activities that these children can aspire to. And then when they go to school, it makes sense. Oh yeah, I want to go snow skiing. I think I'll study extra hard for this test, or find the test that I can do well on. That's the other thing, is some kids could study and study like me, and I still couldn't pass algebra. So does that mean I'm stupid? In algebra, yeah, I'm intellectually disabled. But then I went to college and got in creative thinking classes, and I did pretty well, did good. That's why I think the arts is integral to a happy, healthy society, is that we all take part in the audience or participating, whether or not it's for a career. It's something to do, and it's healthy. I mean, I do think about all the shootings and mass murders, and I put it on the artists that have no ethics in designing these video games where we have, it's just evil unleashed, just tons and tons of violence. And that dissimulates you from the correct way of thinking. I mean, it doesn't, maybe, I think it hurts. I think it makes our society more violent. The more violence on TV and the more violence in video games, I would steer people in a different direction. If we're having trouble with gun violence, well, don't put it out on video games for children. Duh. But, I think Johnny Depp is sound as a pound. He's doing what he does, and I'm not worried about him and Amber. I almost think it's a ridiculous waste of time, but I guess they have to have something to do, those really wealthy movie stars. So I just want to build an international school for world peace and work on that, because that to me is interesting. Like, how can we do this? How can people work together? And you know, when a black woman gets just weirdly angry with me, now I kind of understand it's because she loves her kids so much, and some of them don't have the opportunities in certain situations. They don't know how to get there. It's like Dorothy and her silver slippers or red slippers in The Wizard of Oz. It's right over the mountain, ma'am. You know, and my dad will say, he said, well, they're not stuck. They can go anywhere they want to go. But you have to have a certain demeanor to fit into certain types of activities. Like, I work with a lady, and she wants to be a manager, but she just cusses at work all the time and says really derogatory things. And I'm almost like, what's the name of that? My Fair Lady. She's that kind of My Fair Lady, but not yet prepared yet for that role that she wants to play. So, yeah, violent games, all that kind of violence goes into the brains and desensitize people to it. the quality of, I mean, I can't imagine losing a child. I have a friend that's got a 23-year-old son that's got lung cancer from smoking so young. And so now I haven't had to go through that yet. I've gone through a lot, but yeah, I'm lucky. I think all my kids are alive right now, and that's important to a parent. You know, you love them. Even if you're not the perfect parent, nobody is. Oh, a minute ago, I took Charm down to the train tracks to let her run, and I started walking back to get her, and she was gone. And she had walked down to the old folks' home and was hanging out with the ladies, the black ladies at the... Anyway, I got her back, but she didn't know where I'd gone, I guess. She couldn't see me, and she got a little confused. I'm not confused.